So we know that heart disease has always been a problem, a major problem. Most of the time we say that it's a problem in the Western countries because of coronary artery disease and all these things. But it's not just in Western countries, also in some developing countries, heart disease is a major problem. Okay? They can present as hypertensive heart disease, and most of the time in developing countries, it's not known. They know that they have a problem when it's too late, when they have heart attack, or when they are in heart failure because of valvular heart disease, or they have a stroke. So heart disease is always a problem, despite major breakthroughs. Okay, we know we had, when you compare to 10 years, 20 years ago, there have been a lot of discovery, a lot of improvement in treatment of cardiovascular disease, but it still remains a problem. Even though sometimes it's forgotten, and we think about those infectious diseases that come in spike. We talk about Ebola, and everybody talk about Ebola. Ebola will come and go. HIV will come, and people will find medication, will find treatment, and it's not a problem anymore. But heart disease is always there, and it's constant everywhere. So there is a problem that we still need to address. And when you look at those, the population, whether it's here or overseas, there is a still need of education of the population, need of research here in minority population. We have a lot of research in all the population, but minority population, there's still a problem. And even in other populations, for example, overseas, there's no research. There's no information. We know when we talk about multi-centric research, Dr. Singh can attest to that. I've never heard any multi-centric research involving some developing countries, like in Africa, or Middle East, or even Eastern Europe. Multi-centric research involves multi-center here and some center in Europe, Western Europe. I think I'm correct. So there is still the need of research in developing country, and we think we can contribute to that. And we see that there are some problems in the minority population here in terms of education and research focused on those populations. Can you give me the next? So when you look at the research that are done, you see that the majority of those research done here are in universities, done by academics. Or if they are not done in university, they are done in some institutions such as NIH, which are multi-think tanks that are owned by or run by the government. So we think that there is a need for an independent, freestanding think tank that will perform research in the cardiovascular area. And we have searched to see if there is anything like that, and we found nothing except one organization, that is the Center for Cardiovascular Research in New York, which is a well-funded organization, and they are a think tank for cardiovascular research. So there is still room for such organization, and that's where we come into place, and we decided to start this organization, which is the American Center for Investigative Cardiology, which will promote research and contribute to the dialogue, okay, and see what we can, if we can fill the gap, okay. Give me the next. So this is our mission. Promote research in cardiovascular disease in the United States and developing countries, in addition to promoting scientific exchanges and international scholarly activities between scientists in the United States and the developing countries. So we have a dual focus, or two-pronged focus. Promoting research in this country, in an area where there is not enough information, I will say we focus on maybe on the minority population at this time, but we do not want to limit our scope, and also promoting some collaboration with some scientists overseas, and allow them to have some insight in the way we think and we do research here. Next. So this is our objectives: foster scientific cooperation among foreign and US scientists, develop research projects in cardiovascular disease, mentoring young cardiovascular scientists in their career, expose US scientists to the thinking of non-US scientists, and expose cardiovascular scientists and clinicians to the way we think in America, so the way American scientists think. Okay, next. So we have different activities that we want to initiate to achieve our goal, and we think we will organize some seminars, some educational seminars, some research seminar on a regular basis. We'll sponsor some lectures, some conferences. We can have some guest speaker, and we will contribute in the teaching of scientists or cardiologists or even physicians who are interested in expanding their knowledge in cardiovascular disease. And we also will do some collaborative research projects in the US, and we think we can have strategic relationship with some scientists. I spoke with Dr. Bond already, and he's willing to partner with us and allow us to use his research lab and to get some research done. So we will try to have such a partnership with some scientists here, some university here, and also with some university overseas. And I know I have some relationship overseas that we can use to that purpose. Okay, next. So this is our organizational chart. This is how ACIC is set up. So we have our board of trustees, and we have today we have 4 members of the board. Dr. Coleman, who is another member, is not able to make it today. He just had a surgery, and he is still in pain. So we don't have him today. We have Dr. Singh and Dr. Brown and Dr. Haddad, who have graciously accepted to be member of this board. And we will have the president and CEO, who will be executing all the decision. And we have 2 teams that will be implementing the activities. The first thing will be the executive team, which will execute all the decisions. We have an executive secretary, and we have a director of public relations and marketing, which is very important if we want to get known and expose ourselves and get funding. So we have a director of international affairs, because we, as you know, we want to be abroad, and we have a treasurer. Now, the second team is the scientific team, which include a program director for basic science cardiovascular research, and we have a clinical research program director, And we hope to have also a public health program that will focus on cardiovascular disease. Dr. Haddad had accepted to take this in addition to being a member of the board. I hope he still is okay with that. And we still have, opening for these two position, and anybody who knows any cardiovascular scientist who is interested in doing working with us is welcome to make some suggestion. So, Executive Secretary, we have Ms. Tonya Freeman, who will be working that position, and she's here now. And thank you. Public relations, marketing, Gloria Oke, whom everybody knows, everybody will have been receiving email from, will be there. I will be occupying this position until we get somebody who can do that. And we have a treasurer, Mr. Basejo Kamagate, who is well experienced in running non-profits, and he agreed to take that challenge. Next. So, vision for the future. Okay, we have some long-term vision. One will be, as I said at the beginning, to develop a multinational network of collaborative research and with different scientists overseas. Yes, long-term, I put here ACIC Graduate School, which is a very big challenge, I know, but I also know that there are some think tanks that have some small graduate program, and we think that we can do that maybe in some years. And what we have in mind is probably recruiting some master level graduate students who only need to do some research, and then they will be trained, and we will graduate some PhD. So that is a very long term and ambition. Okay, and yes, developing patents. We hope we will get to the level where we will be able to develop some patents and have them approved, and like any other research organization, being able to show that we can invent things, or we have some good ideas. So that's what we have, and we are starting today. Okay, thank you.